Hey guys, so Lord here, back again with another review, and today we'll be taking a look at the NECA Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Universal Monsters, April O'Neil as the Bride of Frankenstein. Now before we get into it here, let's first take a look-see at both the front and the back of the packaging. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now before we get into the meat and taters of this review, April O'Neil does come with a pair of Kung Fu grip hands, which can be used to hold any of her accessories. She also comes with an alternate head sculpt. This one has a bit of a smirk on it. I actually do prefer the alternate head sculpt as compared to the one she comes packaged with, and a very nice likeness to Miss or Mrs., I don't want to screw that up, Judith Hoag. Which if you're familiar with the live action movies, you know who that is. She also comes with a pair of rats. A little ghost for you there. This one has an eyeball sewed onto it, and this one has an ear sewed onto it. And for those of you wondering, my mom absolutely despises these freaking things. So there is that. She also comes with a little spider. Little teeny tiny spider. Which I'm sure my aunt would love. I'm kidding, of course. She also comes with a sai, which I believe is the same colors as the Raphael size. Or no, it's the same sculpt, different colors. That said, it is a little warped on mine, and my heat has been a cheap arse and hasn't kicked on literally all week so I could straighten this freaking thing out. So, not sure what's up with that. But when I finally do straighten this out, I might actually give it to my Raphael so we can have 3 sides instead of 2. And then she also comes with this very disturbing purse, handbag, whatever you want to call it. See, there's a bone sticking out of it. It's a giant padlock, and it's made out of human skin. Courtesy of Ed Gein. Yeah, this thing, not gonna lie, kind of trips me out a bit. It's kind of gross. Like the chain on it, though. That's really cool. Because NECA actually knows how to run a budget and can give us cool stuff like metal chains. Unlike some people. Bro. And then she also comes with this giant old school microphone because she is a news reporter after all, so this makes sense. This also kind of looks like something you'd see at a metal show or a rock show. They have the mics sticking out of the stage. I don't know, it kind of reminds me of one of those too. But really cool batch of accessories. It makes sense for her. But before I get too far ahead of myself here, some of you are probably wondering, Overlord, where's the Headless Horseman review? I'll tell ya. Since Halloween is all about jump scares, I figured I'd catch you guys off guard with a bonus review. That is right. Haven't done 2 videos in one day in a long time, but I figured in the spirit of the spooky season, I would get a review of The Bride of Frankenstein, April O'Neil, out while she was, I guess, certified fresh, as it were, because I don't know when that Van Helsing Splinter is going to come out, and really, if I do one NECA video in 1 week, that is kind of enough as far as my review schedule is concerned, since NECAs can usually stack up, only being one a week as opposed to something like a Marvel Legends where I feel like I need to do 2 of them a week to make it worthwhile. So, those of you wondering why the April video is going up first, that is why. So, with that being said, taking a closer look at the lady in question. Again, really nice likeness to Judith Hoag, but I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think this is as strong of a release as the Turtles in this line. It's just nature of the beast. In this case, the Bride of Frankenstein is not exactly the most interesting of the Universal monsters. She's the less monstrous of the bunch. And that is the same case for good old April O'Neil here. She is not so monstrous compared to the other figures in this line. If I could talk, jeez. So for that, and that alone, she is kind of the weak link of the line as of right now, but I think her accessories more than make up for the fact that she is not the scariest looking figure of the bunch. So as far as her articulation is concerned, she can look up really far, like, holy crap. You can look down pretty far. Actually, she kind of just goes back to neutral. She can tilt side to side. She's on a double ball peg. You can rotate it around. Be careful, she's got a little wire here that goes from this side of her neck over to the other side and then down her back here. But it's only a separate piece at the top here. You don't have to worry about it elsewhere. Mostly just right here. But if you do have the little rat, it's kind of in a perch pose, you can slip the tail under this and have it sit on her shoulder, and it will not fall off, I assure you. It's a nice, snug fit, and I love that. Her arms can go out to the side, go back down, forward, and back. She's got a single joint at the elbow with rotations. She's got a swivel at the wrist with rotation, with a hinge. Stupid, that's not what rotation is. She's got a waist cut that works okay. Much better than most of the other characters in this line, but she doesn't have as much going on down here. Now, I think she's got like a diaphragm joint up in there, but it is pretty restricted. Like, I can feel like a little wiggle in there, but I'm not going to force it. Her hips are pretty much traffic cone. They are on ball hinges, but this side is the only side that really gets any movement out of it. She can kick forward a little bit. She can kick out a little bit. Her hips are very much restricted. This one even more so. This one's just kind of locked in place. Now you can move it forward a little bit, but yeah, not stuck, just stuck in the sense that they are traffic cone. She does have a thigh cut that does work pretty well on both sides. She's got a double knee that does work on both sides. She's got a swivel at the knee. If I bend this a little bit. Let's see, it does rotate down there. Let me see if I can get this to straighten out some more. I just did, okay. And then she also has a hinge at the foot with a rocker. It's a little steep, but for a heel, not terrible. If you get the foot bent up all the way and you use some of the rotation, you can get her feet to sit flat on the floor. She does have peg holes at the bottom of her feet, but since she has these big old honking shoes, you shouldn't need a stand. But I have had a little bit of trouble standing mine. But it's not too difficult, I would say. I say that, and she's tumbling down. Maybe I need to bend her legs back a notch. Maybe they're not in neutral. Maybe they are. I don't know. I can't tell. I can't tell, laddie. There. Now she's standing upright. There we go. That's better. But yeah, fun figure still. Even though it's not the strongest release, I love the Judith Hoag likeness. I think that's really cool. Kind of puts it into perspective that these figures are kind of tied to the movies, which makes sense because Universal Monsters, you know, they're movie monsters. And all the accessories make up for the fact that she's not quite as monstrous as the other figures in this line. That said, you can also see elements of April O'Neil in the costume still. She's got the yellow kind of raincoat going on. It's sleeveless, it's torn up, it's seen some crap. It's got some wear and tear on it. And she also has the skirt going on. I assume it's more or less based off the movie April, more so than the 80s cartoon or the vintage toy. Because if that was the case, she'd have like the yellow pants and the white boots and stuff. This one just has the yellow coat, which is very reminiscent of Judith Hoag's representation of this character. And can I just say, Judith Hoag is a super cool person, pretty down to earth and chill lady, so shout out to her for green lighting this. You know, not everyone's okay with having action figures made of themselves, let alone a Frankenstein's monster made out of themselves, so props out to her, man. With that being said, let's now move on and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is April O'Neil as the Pride of Frankenstein, alongside the only other figures that make sense to compare it to from this NECA Toys TMNT Universal Monsters crossover series. We have Raphael as Frankenstein's monster and Leonardo as the Hunchback, aka Igor. And it should be worth noting that the extra rat with the little ear sewn on it and the spider that come with April fit on the same shelf that the skull is on in the back of Leonardo, which is really freaking cool. Like, the rat nestles right in there, and you can put the spider right in front of that, so you have extra storage for extra accessories, just making that Leonardo figure that much better. That said, you can see just how much she is dwarfed by these two. Not just by Raph, but by Leo, who is just a chungus of a figure. If you're not thinking you're getting bang for your buck when you pick that thing up, I don't know what to tell you, man. That thing is a chunk, a hunk of burning plastic. And last, but certainly not least, we have our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus, the livid spawn who, as usual, towers over everyone. Even with that head of hair, good old April O'Neil here is no match for Al Simmons. So with that being said, and wrap things up, some final thoughts. Overall, and while good old April O'Neil here may not be as strong of a release as the other figures released in this line, I mean, let's face it, she is no Leonardo as the Hunchback after all. Don't get it twisted, this is still another fun and creative release from the TMNT Universal Monsters line from the fine folks over at NECA Toys. Between all the cool accessories you get with this figure, I'm still tripping over that Ed Gein looking purse, as well as the likeness to Judith Hoag, this is another fine release in this set of Turtles figures. And if you are like myself and want to collect them all, then you obviously need April. She is a main character after all. That said, I would have much rather have gotten Donatello, the other brother, as it were, because that would have just made the set feel a little bit more complete, at least for the time being. I know Splinter is on the way soon, but given NECA's track record and Scatterbrain release schedule, I'll believe it when I see it. But at the end of the day, he is a Ninja Turtles figure, and they do seem to prioritize Turtles over anything like Gargoyles or Dungeons and Dragons or anything else I could possibly want to pick up from this company. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. If you were so inclined, please don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you know whenever I upload more reviews like this one. If you haven't already, please hit me up on Instagram at Overlord Productions. But as always, keep the comments civil, because the world sucks enough as it is, especially when, yeah, I'm still tripping over that Ed Gein looking purse. Not gonna lie, kind of freaky, dude. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later with a review of the Headless Horseman. Woo!